Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for your patience. I feel like just like a conflagration of tech issues happened just as I was logging in. Um, Internet stopped working. I had to reboot things. So thank you for your patience. We are going to get started into talking about the Visionary Personality Matrix today. So I'm very excited to talk about this. This is something that just randomly came up last year that I was like, this is actually an interesting phenomena. So we're going to talk about it today. So let us get into things. Again, because my internet wasn't working, I got kicked out of like my Canva so I could present. So I'm doing it old school with a PDF and hoping that this is sufficient. We're all just learning. It's all about pivoting. This is what we're doing today. We're having a great time. All right. So today is all about the Visionary Personality Matrix and how can we take who we are and how we think and actually turn that into operational strategy. So if this is your first time meeting me, hi, I'm Nikki. I'm a system strategist and operations magician, working primarily with online businesses on their operational ecosystems. So one of the things I discovered very early on in my career of being the right hand to visionaries is that every business owner sees information a little bit differently. So it sees data, it sees priorities, it sees progress differently. So how Jane looks at Kajabi is different from how David looks at Trello, but that's also very different in terms of what they want to get from their systems. How do they want their systems to make them feel? And this is why my kickoff calls with new clients usually go something like, we have this software, but I don't know how it works. My last OBM said that we needed it. I spend a lot of time in one-on-one meetings with all of these contractors, and it's exhausting. I get so confused when I open up Asana. There's all these things, and I never update it. And essentially, they've been put into an operations box that is based on their type of business. If you are a product-based business, then you should have X. If you are a coach, then your system should be set up this way. And I refuse to put people in a box. So my focus is on human first operational structures that allow you to start and run and grow your business as you define it based on who you are as a human. So my goal is to build a framework or an ecosystem around you that supports your genius and does not put you into this operations box. So no superpower is without its drawbacks. So there's a reason that superheroes lean into their superpowers and they have sidekicks and butlers and people to help them. And that is why I developed the Visionary Personality Matrix, because the goal behind the matrix is to help you identify your unique traits and qualities and turn that into a framing device for every decision you make in the business, from what software you're going to use to what people you hire, to how you choose what to prioritize or to say yes and no to, because knowing this information will help you feel at ease about executing your ideas. You understand how to collaborate with like-minded people. You get to build the business relationships that you look forward to. And it's also going to help you streamline your planning, your processes, so you can start, continue, and stop ideas with a clear understanding of where it's headed. So for today's talk, we're going to get a little interactive. So for this exercise, you'll need something to write with or write something down, or you can put it as a note on your phone. So I'm going to pose you a series of 7 questions, and you're going to choose the letter that sounds the most like you. And then at the end, I'll share where you fit in the matrix and what that means for your systems, your support, and the strategies around you. So here we go. Number 1, do you think of yourself as a big picture person or more of a detailed, thought-oriented thinker? So A, big picture, but I know how to execute. B is big picture. I prefer to focus on ideation instead of executing on things. C, I'm detail-oriented and I am a pro at execution. And D, detail-oriented, execution integration is my game all day long. Question 2, What is the most important quality to you in a team member or business partner? A, you love action-oriented doers. B, thought partners who keep you in your zone of genius are your favorite. C, people who think on their feet. Or D, collaborators and co-creators. Next question. If you were to offload or delegate something in your business, what would it be? A, I would like to have someone who is organized and can handle all the day-to-day. B, I'd love to get someone who does all the tactical and back-end things. C, it would be awesome if you had someone who could problem solve when something breaks or goes wrong. D, someone who can take your ideas and break them down into smaller pieces. Next, how do you like to keep track of to-do items? A, you love an online to-do list. B, you're a pen and paper or journal crowd. C, you love a project management tool or software that has like folders, spaces, automations, and assignees and due dates. D, you always go for the latest and greatest app or the newest AI tool or way to use AI. Ooh, this question. What is your worst habit when you're working with people, be it someone on your team or a business partner? A, you'll ask someone to do something and then you do it yourself. B, you miss deadlines a lot because you're off dreaming or thinking or you get distracted. C, you change your mind a lot. Or D, you tend to micromanage people and projects and ask for like a lot of checks and updates. Be truthful, you know yourself. Next question. What do you love to spend your time doing? A, thinking about the big picture and long-term strategy. B, connecting with people and deepening relationships. C, learning about the latest and greatest strategies or technology. Or D, doing things that don't scale, but are fun or interesting. Next question. What is your number one must-have with your systems? A, it needs to tell you what to prioritize. B, it needs to be so simple, like no fluff, no extra info. C, needs to show you what's working and what's not. Or D, something that leverages automation and integration so that you only have to worry about the stuff that has to be manual. Now I want you to look at all your answers and add up how many you got of each letter. If you got mostly A's, or if you chose mostly A's, then you're the innovator in my matrix. If you got mostly B's, you are the visionary. If you got mostly C's, you're the driver. And if you got mostly D's, you are the explorer. And now we're going to go into what each of those mean within my matrix. So type 1, if you got mostly A's, you're the innovator. So on the grid, you fit into that conceptual thinker, more on the execution side. So some key characteristics: you love the big picture, you love consuming knowledge, but at the end of the day, you're going to get in the trenches and you're going to do the work. You love working with action-oriented folks, lateral thinkers, problem solvers, people who like want to move. When you hire or look for team members, you love people who are organized and can keep track of the day-to-day to make sure the lights stay on and nothing falls through the cracks. But your red flag to others: scope creep, doing things you've already asked others to do. And when you think about your systems, when you think about your strategy for how you're going to choose various processes and platforms, what is really important for you to see, to feel like you are thriving, is something or some structure that can keep track of all the ideas you have and take from that priorities and very clear deadlines so that you know what you need to focus on, but you also know where the rest of it is. You know, create a little bit of safety for your brain that your good ideas have not been forgotten. They're still there. And you know exactly what you need to focus on. That is the innovator within my matrix. The next one is the visionary. So on the matrix grid, you're going to still be conceptual thinker, like the innovator, but much more on the ideation side, less on the execution. So some key characteristics of the visionary is they're the dreamer. They have so many ideas. They don't really care about the details or how something gets done, but they can picture the outcome of the ideas. They love working with thought partners, people they can bounce ideas off of, and they really value autonomous and proactive workers because those people are going to help keep you in your zone of genius. Some of your red flags. You can be vague with instructions because the details don't matter to you, or you don't even know what the details could be. You tend to miss deadlines because you're, big ideas, lots of thinking. And oftentimes you will set outrageous goals, which for many, many teams is not what they value in terms of goal setting. They want to know they're going to hit things, but you're the one who will kind of throw out something like, we're going to quadruple our revenue in the next 2 years. Even if you don't think you're going to do it, that is how you set your goal. So when you think about your system strategy, the frameworks, how you structure things, much like the innovator, you want to know that your ideas are being taken care of. But even more so, your scope of what needs to be worked on needs to be very, very small. You don't want to be able to look a month at a time when it's coming down to what you need to work on, like day by day, and getting really specific, like no fluff, just what do I need to know right now? So it has to be very narrow in its focus. So let's go to the other side. So now instead of conceptual thinker, we've gone down to the bottom half of the matrix where it's all about tactical thinking. So the driver is a tactical thinker and then an executor. So just below the innovator, but more tactical instead of big picture oriented. So some characteristics of the driver: they love going to market and launching like fast because goals and results are their love language. I had a boss like this. Loved him, great mentor, but he was like, let's just go, 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 go. Like just get things out, get things done. So they love working with people who can think on their feet and who ask very, very specific questions. And they really want people who don't dwell on mistakes. They want things fixed and then we move on. So if you're the driver, some red flags for you to be aware of how you show up for others is you change your mind a lot. You like to cancel or pivot, even if there's been a lot of work already done or a lot of energy already put into things, which can be frustrating to people who work with you. So when you think about your system strategy, what ultimately you need to be thinking about is, how can I see what's working and what's not? How can I understand all the things that are happening and who's doing what and the bandwidth and how we're able to deploy resources so that I can make really good decisions about what I think we should do next, or the speed of things, the scope of things. So something that's really like, here's all the moving pieces, here's how they're organized, and here's how I can tell if individual pieces are getting to what I need them to get to. And then our last type, the explorer. So bottom half of the matrix, tactical thinker, but like the visionary, they are an ideator. They are a learner. So with the explorer, you always want to try new things. You like things that don't scale, but that are fun. So an example of a thing that doesn't scale, but's fun is, sending personalized one-on-one welcome videos to every new client. That's not scalable because it's your face, but you love it. So you really love working with people who can collaborate and co-create with you. And really value people who can take your big ideas and certain things and break them down into smaller steps so that then the ideas get executed on. Some of your red flags: you hyper focus on things that might not matter in the grand scheme of things. An example of this is I had a client who spent 3 weeks trying to decide on the color of a button on her website, and she wouldn't do anything else until that was solved, which put us really far behind and it got really frustrating. So in that sense, they micromanage things. So when it comes to system strategy for you, the explorer, you need to leverage automation so that things can run and you get to see what is happening around you, but from a top level down, so that you can trust or build trust and confidence that people are doing what they need to be doing or that's been done. So you can just look and know how something is going rather than have to go talk to a bunch of people. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? How's that going? So that's the explorer. So what does this all mean? This is not obviously 100% accurate. It is possible to have to be in different parts of this matrix at different times, depending on different circumstances. But I do believe that you will have one that is more consistent, more constant, one that feels pretty good to you. So the next time that you have to make a decision, you're wondering what to choose, or you want to get unstuck, I want you to think about your type. Because not every shoe is meant for every foot. Not every strategy or structure or framework is meant for every business, much less every business owner. And something you can also think about with this is use it with your team members or the people who support you. Who are they? Understand the type of information that is really important to them. Understand their red flags, recognize your own, and make a dedicated effort to resolve that, and really have a conversation about how you can feel good. So for example, going back to the explorer, as a type who tends to micromanage, having that conversation with someone right off the bat saying, hey, we're going to work together. I get really nervous when I don't know what's going on. So I tend to micromanage. How can we set up a structure where I can feel like I know what's going on and I don't have to constantly bother you, but you also don't feel like infantilized that I'm like checking in on you constantly. Have that conversation. It becomes a really useful tool, to set expectations, to build a foundation. Because with my clients, once I understand their type, that helps frame our entire interaction for how we're going to move forward and how I'm going to present information to them. So I hope you enjoyed this journey into the matrix. Thank you again for your patience with the technical issues at the top of the hour. If you have questions, comments, want to, ask questions or give me an example or talk about your type, I highly encourage you to DM me on Instagram. I'm at IamNikkiMick, IamNikkimck. And if you're thinking you'd like some operations support or maybe thinking about working together, head on over to the opsshop.biz/pitch. As I am running this new offer called Pitch Me Your Project, which is inspired by my friend Elia. So basically, you tell me what you need. What would you like resolved? What challenges are you having? What would you like answered? What do you want some clarity on? Pitch me what you're looking for, your timelines, and what your budget is. And we will have a conversation where we can co-create and collaborate on what a project could look like, rather than me saying, here's everything I do, and here are the price tags on it, and here's how they work step by step by step. We're going to co-create something. We're going to collaborate on this. And you tell me what you want and what your budget is. So thank you so much for joining me again in the Systems Lab for this training. For those of you who didn't get the email, the training that was originally scheduled for Thursday evening with a process distillery has been changed to Friday afternoon. So check your inbox for the details. Just some scheduling things came up and I'm unable to do it to stream tomorrow night. But thank you again for those who are here live and those who are watching the replay. Appreciate you always. And remember, systematize to optimize. Have a good one.